Hello, Eileen. So here it is. This is a really nice Moonphase. It's probably the nicest one I've ever owned. It still has, look at that, it still has the past sticker on the back. So there's nothing that this watch needs more than a service and a case rebuild. So I'm going to take everything apart. I'm going to pull the movement out. I'm going to take the movement completely apart. I'm going to take the case completely apart. It looks, I mean, it looks nearly new, but I still want to clean it, and we're going to make sure that it is 100% clean and good to go. Lovely pieces. Lovely, lovely pieces. Beautifully made. And this is a nice one. Okay, well, let's get on it, shall we? Okay, we got us. Actually, wrong tool. Bracelet, we got our spring bars. Darn it. You know, you're always hopeful that you get it the first time and you're going to loosen it up, but sometimes that doesn't happen. And you got to go back in. Okay, are we where we need to be? Look at that, almost no marks on the case back. I mean, it's a little hazy. I'm just testing every register, just for fun, so I know. That's, by the way, how you, in case you don't know this, that's how you reset any of these hands if you need. You take the crown and you pull it out one click, and then this button will operate this register, this button operates the main sweep, this button operates that, and then you can reset everything. And good to go. So first things first is I want to clear the dial. I want to pull all those hands and get all that done. Here's your stem. Yeah, That gasket definitely needs to be redone. That tells us how the watch is doing. It's original. Oh, and if you, there's also a way to correct the Moonphase, but I've already started taking this apart. I'll show you when it's done, because I have to test everything anyway. Okay, got those hands off. One thing for anybody who might be thinking about this, one of the weird twists with these, with the hands, is the Moonphase hand is unusual for Seiko in that it doesn't have a pinion. It just has a hole in the middle, and it's a friction fit around this tube that comes off this hand. So a lot of people sometimes they'll take that hand off and they're like, oh my God, the hand came apart, I'm screwed. But that's not actually what's going on. Just Seiko had to do it this way. It was the only way to do it that worked, because you have to have two different, you have the moon register and then the date register. So they have to operate independently of each other. Yeah, I'm being silly. Let me just get this dial off of here. Okay, first light of day since whatever year this darn thing was made, sometime in the 1980s. There's your Moonphase disc. Please note, all metal. So there you can see, there's the Moonphase arrangement. Weirdest thing about this is the Moonphase advancement lever. This comes up and it pushes over the Moonphase from using this ratchet wheel there. And this is one of these things that you absolutely cannot lubricate it, because if you lubricate it, it just flops around and it won't stay, it won't push up correctly, and that's how it works. Cool. Okay, I'm looking at that. I want to flip it over now and go the other direction. So what I'm doing now is I am unscrewing the anti-magnetic shield, but it also serves as part of the circuit, as a ground and that other kind of thing. What a beautiful, beautiful movement. What an amazing design. Because most quartz movements are just plastic. But this was the first analog quartz chronograph, these 7As. Seiko invented them. And they went all out. They went all out. It's a battery ground connection. And there's your anti-magnetic shield. Crazy the designing work that went into making this. This is your circuit, the brains of the operation. This was the first, I believe, as far as I understand it, this was the first quartz watch that had fly-by-wire tech. You know, that's kind of a quartz thing, but not like they've got a lot of, you know, mechanical parts going on, but Seiko really did create and popularize this tech. Come on, come on, I see you. Come on. I can. 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. I have to, these things not only have 4 separate gear trains, they have 4 separate coils. 1 coil for each train. This is one of the parts that you just got to be super careful with, because, man, it is easy for the screwdriver to slip if you're not holding it. And then you can have a blade strike on the coil, and it does not take much. There's your circuit. Look, it's a perfect condition. There's your CMOS. There's your crystal. Here's your train. Trains multiple. This little diddly is the active moving part of the trimmer. This is how you adjust the accuracy up and down. I usually don't like to send these through the ultrasonic. I like to hand clean these just because they're so small, they're easy to get lost. The other battery connection. Well, you know, you try. It's not the right way to do it anyway. Come on, come on, come on. real? It doesn't want to move, huh? I'll look at that one in a second. Something physical is holding this back. Yeah, it's caught under the spacer. Let me get under it. Okay, so there's your spacer. These are the connectors from the buttons. The buttons connect from the outside to the inside with these little connector clip springy diddlies, and they're right down here. There's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. If water ever gets in, any amount of water, these will rust like crazy people. Look, do you see there's a little bit of corrosion right there? That's what happens. You gotta, people don't do the maintenance they ought to. So even a watch this beautiful got a little bit of moisture inside, and that's why we change all the seals. Come on, would you stop fighting me? Seiko and their love for springs. Come on. God, crank it back. Okay. I'm gonna take out the chronograph bridge because that's real straightforward. Then I'll give a sort of a once-over of the movement underneath that, but then I'm gonna go off screen to rip this thing apart because the pinions on these, pinions are the tips of the wheels, and these, the ones in here are really fine, and they are real easy to break. So I like to be right on top of it. Yep, lower right button leaked just a hair. This is the chronograph main sweep friction spring. What this does is it produces just enough drag so that the hand will stop after every tick, and this thing stops it. Without that, it would just kind of slide forward some. Makes it more accurate, easier to read. Hey, look at that. Yeah, look. It was kind of stuck in its jewel. Here you go. There's the wheel pinion for the center sweep and its bridge. So here you go. There's the heart of a 7A. That was one train I just took apart. There's another, and this is the main train. The main train has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ports, pinions just on this side, and you have to do it on the underside as well. You have to drop this whole bridge when you're putting it back together. And this stepper motor pinion right here is really hard to get in place, and it's super easy to snap. It's great if these things are assembled. They'll never go bad as long as water doesn't get in them, but they're not designed to take stress the wrong way. So I'm gonna rip this the rest of the way apart. I'm gonna clean it, and then I will come back. Okay. I thought I'd pull this just for fun. I'm sorry, show this just for fun. If you wanna see that main bridge, that stepper motor right there. What an insane pain in the ass to do. You just gotta be careful. You just gotta be careful, but all this stuff has to come off. This center block, this spacer block right here has to come off in order to get everything out, and it goes underneath all this stuff. There's no way to clean this without removing this. And there's a whole bunch of stuff you need to do that you have to have this stuff off. So there it is. There's the underneath of the big main bridge. Let's go. Okay, I didn't want to set up my phone holder, so I'm just doing this. So I'm getting it. That's real good. You know, 6, 7 100ths of a second per day is good. Anyway, so that's probably about as tight as I can get it. Let's just see what the jump is. Yeah. And that's real good. And again, when I would try to drop it down a little bit, I'd go negative, which I don't want to do. So 9 100ths of a second, 8 100ths of a second per day gaining, that's real accurate. So I'm going to call that good. Let's put it together. I still don't have my holder. Here's your case. Isn't that nice? All nice and clean. Perfect sailing surfaces. Looks awesome. And there we are. It's looking clean. That's always nice. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the care and feeding of, oh, I'm sorry, that's split time, of a chronograph, or how these actually work. This is start, stop chronograph. Wait, this is reset. This is split time. There's your crown. Now the crown does a couple of different things. The date here is actually displayed on this circular outer ring. And they did this because then it's just nice oldie-timey timekeeping. And there is the phase of the moon. I have not actually set those two things. So today, it's waxing crescent. So it's right about there. Okay, I want to do the date. Hang on. And today is the 27th. Oops. Gosh darn it, I moved your moon phase. There we go. Today is the 27th. There that is. Actually, silly me, I haven't been setting for the right time either. It looks like we got 7:37. Well, I'd have to set it to the time. I'll set it for your time zone. When you get it, it will be set to your time. So anyway, start. And for 15 minutes, all these registers are going to go. Then after that, it's going to go into time-saving mode, and you'll just see the main suite going. This button is split time. So if someone's going to stop and start again, you can go boop. They can go off and do whatever, go to the bathroom, come back and, you know, and go out and get a hamburger too. And then they come back on the starting line, and they're like, oh, 1, 2, 3, go. Really is a nice piece. You can tell the true condition of watch in a lot of parts, a lot of ways, if you look at the condition of the clasp, because that's the first thing to get worn. I just want to see this 12-hour register kick over. There she blows. And that's it. That is what it's all about. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. We are all done.